What's going on, guys? Welcome along to another video. I'm Matt at DSR, and today we're back at Triumph testing this Triumph's Speed Triple RS 1200. It feels like ages since I've been on a naked. This has got the same 1200 engine as it's got in the 1200 Rally Pro, GT Explorer, etc. that I've already reviewed. However, this has been retuned. So this 1160cc engine is producing 177.5 brake horsepower with 125 newton meters of torque. I'm expecting good things, and I mean, straight out the gate, this thing feels lively. Looking at this bike's electronics, they haven't got a massive amount, but there's enough to keep it interesting. So we've got LEDs all around, we've got daytime running lights, the usual things we expect. Coming back from that, we've got a 5-inch TFT, not the biggest, but it is nice and clear. It's got a nice black background, so the glare coming off it is very, very minimal. We've got 4 rider modes. We've got rain, road, sport and rider. Obviously you can go on and adjust those rider modes in the settings. And to change through your rider modes, you've got an M button on the left hand switch gear. Just push that, rotate it through, and then bottom down, all the way down the bottom there, use that to enter and then come off the throttle. I've put it into rain mode, and the throttle response is really smooth, it's really nice and gentle. But then when you do go above kind of 5,000 RPM, it still livens up. But who cares about rain mode? It's got one, it's good. But let's get it into sport. Tell you what, boys and girls, sport mode is where it's at for this bike. This thing is quick. It sounds good as well. You can hear that triple whir coming through from the engine. Some other electronical features. We do have cruise control. Always nice to see on a bike nowadays, especially on a naked, where there is a bit of kind of aggression in the seating position, the riding position. So it does mean that on those long boring motorways, put cruise control and you can give your right wrist a little bit of a break. I've always found this sound of the triple quite intoxicating. I don't know why. Remember years ago I jumped on a Triumph 675 and the sound of that engine was beautiful as well. So around town in sport mode, how's the throttle, how's the suspension, how's the handling? The throttle's nice and light, so that means it's kind of on-off traffic riding. It's pretty easy. Looks like it's going to rain, but then it's really hot. I just don't get the UK. So first gear, off the throttle, off the clutch. It sits at around 13 miles an hour. So actually going through this town, it's almost like having cruise control. Nice and easy. Even in sport, first gear, that first 5 to 10% pickup on the throttle is pretty smooth. There's not much jerking in my top half, it's not forcing me forward. Actually quite nice and gentle. Under 2,500 RPM, there is some vibrations coming through the bum, through the seat, but actually you start kind of getting a 3,000 and above and those vibrations do disappear. So we do have quick shifter up and down. It's not the smoothest when going up. Down is fine, but going up there is that kind of jolty jerkiness. It's not crisp and it's not like buttery smooth. I'm 6'1" and I feel like I fit this bike very nicely. There's a little bit of weight kind of leaning forward onto the handlebars through the wrists, but it's an acceptable amount. Like I said, with the cruise control, it does mean I can take a break and rest my wrists. The pegs are kind of verging on towards my bum, which means there is a bit of a strain on the knees. But for me, this is going to be your Sunday weapon. The bike you take out on the Sundays, on the weekend, so you kind of forgive it for its more aggressive riding position. It's definitely not the most aggressive naked I've been on. Apologies, I did miss a rider mode, and that is track mode as well. These kind of back roads, the suspension's okay, maybe a little bit hard. We do have Öhlins front and rear, but for me, a big plus on this bike are the brakes. Super sharp, especially those front brakes. So we have got Brembo calipers with 320mm disc at the front and then 220 single at the rear, but that front brake is so strong. Me personally, that's how I like it. Another nice feature is it does have self-cancelling indicators. Don't know about you, but definitely some car drivers could do with them. I had to pull over quick. Just looking at the feet, the seat height is 830mm, I'm 6'1", and I've got both feet flat on the floor. So this is a good bike for anyone a little bit shorter as well that wants to get on a naked bike. Sometimes naked bikes can be quite tall, but this one has got a decent seat height. Some of you may see I do have a fuel light on. That brings me nicely onto this fuel tank, coming in at 15.5 litres. It's pretty small in the realms of tanks, but like I said, this is going to be your fun bike. You'll be filling up every 100 miles or so, and that's okay. Gives you time to get off, rest the old wrists, and enjoy looking at this bike. This thing handles really nicely, just like all the Triumphs I've tested so far. What's going to help this is a weight of 198 kilos wet, which in the grand scheme of bikes is pretty light, especially for something that's a litre bike. Well, how much is something like this going to set you back? Well, there's three colours. This is obviously the black, so the black and the silver is going to set you back £15,800, I believe. Put it on the screen if I'm wrong. And then there's a red version which is going to set you back £16,100. I was in the dealership obviously before I jumped on this, and the 765 RS has got a really lovely bumblebee yellow. I don't know why I like it so much, but I do. This bike could definitely give some of the other litre naked bikes a run for its money. Most naked bikes out there aren't designed for long distance. They haven't got a plethora of technology, and that's okay. I'm happy with what's on this bike. I just want to jump on it and have fun. For me, the two best points about this bike is handling and its braking capacity or capability. You can absolutely flick this thing around, and then if you're getting in trouble, those Brembo brakes are going to stop you. Wind protection, obviously it's a naked bike, there's no screen. The wind's hitting you across the chest and the head, but it's clean air. So actually I think the audio on this is going to be quite good because there's not too much noise. The wind isn't hitting the screen and hitting my helmet in a funny old position. The way this thing picks up its power, I've missed a good fun naked bike. Look at this. Whee! I'd love to take this thing around track. I think this thing would be awesome. Yeah, even in third gear, even below the 2.5, kind of below the 3000 RPM, some vibrations in the bum. That just tells me you need to go quicker. I know I said there's a bit of clunkiness and a bit of joltiness with the quick shifter at higher speeds, but at the lower speeds, kind of city riding, up on the up shift, it's really smooth. It's just when you're full throttle, open throttle, that's where you find a bit of joltiness. Sometimes we manage to find somewhere nice to pull over, and sometimes not so much. This is one of them. But that ain't going to stop me having a little walk around. So this is obviously the black version. I think it looks really nice. And I absolutely love the gold O-lings to the front and the rear. Kind of breaks up the black very nicely. The front of the bike still has that kind of bug eye looking front, but it's kind of distinctive to Triumph. So hey, if it works, keep it. Even for a stock exhaust, actually, I really like the exhaust note that comes out of this. But if you want to save yourself some weight, that is always an easy place to start. At 198 kilos, it's still really light bike. Another manufacturer that struggles finding somewhere to hide the horn, they've just kind of plonked it on the bottom. There we go, that's the rear O-lings, obviously adjustable. Not sure if the camera's going to pick it up, but we've got a nice carbon front hugger as well. Well done, Triumph. Look at that. Oh yes.
And that's all you need to know with this bike. The handling is awesome. It's fairly comfortable for a naked bike. The brakes are beautiful. They work so well. Unlike this person's indicator, clearly doesn't work. No one's saying thank you to me. I'm guessing where you're going, sir. Oh, our left indicator's not working either. So if you are in the market for a naked bike, this should 100% be on your demo list. The lane's over here. There you go. Well done, well done. And there we go, guys. That's been my full riding review on the Speed Triple RS for 2023. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you like it. More importantly, subscribe to the channel. Plenty more reviews come in weekly. And those that moan that I talk too much with my hand, don't care. Get over it. Alright, enough said. See you on the next one. Ride safe.